Welcome to Good Morning America's Team, your source for Dallas Cowboys news, Cowboys rumors, roster updates, and real breakdowns without the clickbait. I'm Tommy Utah, and today we're taking a real look at what the Cowboys are doing this offseason, because they're active, they're making moves. But the real question is, are they actually getting better? We're talking about the George Pickens situation, new defensive additions like Jonathan Bullard, and what these moves say about the Cowboys heading into the draft. Let's get into it right after this message. Hey everyone, Tommy Utah here. Let's talk about something we all deal with but rarely fix: poor sleep and that nagging neck stiffness. Waking up feeling stiff can ruin your entire day, especially for the gym goers and sports fans who push their bodies hard. That's why I want to show you the Darla Ergo. It's an engineered sleep solution designed for actual recovery and comfort. This butterfly design has targeted zones to keep your spine aligned, whether you sleep on your back, side, or even your stomach. It uses high-density memory foam and cooling technology so you're not tossing and turning, searching for the cool side of the pillow. When your neck is actually supported, you wake up ready to tackle the day. It's about sleep performance, pure and simple. If you want better rest and a more comfortable night's sleep, you owe it to yourself to check this out. Head to the link in our bio or description to learn more about Darla Ergo. Your neck will thank you.
It's go time. It's go time. It's go time. We going up like Coach Prime. Like Coach Prime. Like Coach Prime. We going up. It's go time. It's go time. It's go.
Welcome to the podcast, folks. Today we're diving right into the Cowboys' pressing issues, starting with the wide receiver situation around George Pickens. There's been a lot of buzz lately.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, placing the franchise tag on Pickens, especially a non-exclusive one, really fuels the debate, right?
Exactly. It's a move that leaves room for other teams to negotiate, which means there's uncertainty around whether he's truly locked in. And that uncertainty kind of shakes up the whole offense.
For sure. What do you think that does to the offensive chemistry overall?
Well, it affects timing. You know, if your top receiver isn't a done deal, the team chemistry suffers. It's like you're trying to run a play when half of your key piece might not show up on game day.
Yeah, it definitely puts pressure on the front office to either commit for the long haul or risk losing a major offensive asset.
Right, and that's exactly what segues into what Tank reacted about. If you have a number one receiver, you lock them in. If Pickens was truly seen as the long-term answer, the deal would already have been inked. But hesitation here spells uncertainty.
But isn't there an argument to be made that keeping options open could be strategically beneficial?
Possibly, but here's the thing. Leaving such a key position unresolved doesn't exude confidence. It screams indecision. And when you're in the high-stakes environment the Cowboys operate in, that's a big red flag.
Right, because a key player like Pickens drives the offense, and any uncertainty there might ripple out to affect game day performance.
Exactly. And then shifting gears to the defensive side, the Cowboys recently signed veteran defensive lineman Jonathan Bullard. But while he's a stable depth piece, he's not really a game changer. And honestly, it's part of a broader trend, adding multiple defensive players without clear impact.
So they're stacking up depth, but it feels like they're still missing that essential component to truly secure their defense, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like they're piling on numbers, hoping it'll patch up the previous season's issues. But until they find that true difference maker, it's just not enough. The defense might be different, but it's not dangerous yet.
I mean, isn't there some merit in depth? Depth can help cover injuries and provide rotation.
Sure, depth is critical, but without a standout impact player, it's like having a toolbox full of tools, but not the right one to clinch the job. Without a result-driven anchor, the whole defensive unit risks underperforming when it matters most.
True enough. And then there are whispers about the front office looking at bigger moves, trade targets, and additional linebacker help to address that very incompleteness.
Yep, that's the big picture. They're chasing that elusive identity. On offense, the hesitation around Pickens introduces instability. And on defense, despite new signings, the overall system still remains unsettled. It's almost as if the team is in a holding pattern, unsure of its long-term identity.
That reminds me of the analogy where you're trying to drive a high-performance car, but you never install the engine properly. It just feels incomplete.
Exactly. It's like you're putting the pedals to the metal, but you're missing that vital piece that propels you forward at full speed. And without that, both offense and defense end up just Different, not dangerous.
And that danger factor is what wins championships, isn't it?
Precisely. In the NFL, teams aren't just rewarded for being different. They need to send out a signal that they're consistently dangerous. The current situation, with an unresolved wide receiver scenario and a defense that still seems to be groping for its identity, creates a lot of skepticism about how they'll perform under pressure.
I've heard some fans argue that this flexibility might allow the Cowboys to, adjust mid-season. Do you see any merit there?
Possibly, but it's a double-edged sword. While mid-season adjustments can work if executed masterfully, prolonged uncertainty in key positions tends to hurt team cohesion and ultimately performance. It's like making a high-stakes gamble every week.
Right, and in a league as competitive as the NFL, you really can't afford that level of ambiguity when it comes to your star players.
Exactly, and to challenge that point a bit, some might say that hesitating to sign a long-term deal could leave room for future negotiation or salary cap maneuvering. But when you're relying on a top receiver to be the cornerstone of your offense, that hesitation can be interpreted as a lack of belief in that player's role. It's a risky strategy.
It does sound like a classic case of trying to balance immediate tactical flexibility with long-term stability, but doing so at the risk of team morale and chemistry.
Right on. And on the defensive side, while signing players like Bullard shows intent, until they can identify and secure that real playmaker, the defense will remain a work in progress. A squad that's different from last season, but not quite in a place to dominate opponents.
So, looking at both sides, the front office's moves are almost like a state of flux. They're adding pieces, but they haven't locked down the formula for success yet.
Exactly. It's like they're chasing an identity. And in the league, being just quote-unquote different rarely beats being consistently impactful or, dare I say, dangerous.
That's a sharp critique. It really highlights the pressure to not only improve depth, but to secure a transformative presence within the squad.
Yeah, and I think what's most crucial here is that these decisions or indecisions affect more than just the game plan. They impact team morale, strategy, and long-term growth. The potential departure of a key offensive player like Pickens or the failure to nail down a defensive anchor could be felt well beyond the immediate season.
Thinking about it, isn't this a cautionary tale for any team trying to juggle talent and flexibility? The shine of potential is there, but without commitment, that potential may never fully materialize.
Absolutely. It's like hiring a world-class chef for your restaurant, but never giving them a full menu to work with. The talent is wasted if there's no structure. Whether it's on offense with Pickens or defensively with these new signings, clarity and commitment are the key ingredients.
And without that clarity, opponents can exploit the gaps, setting the stage for surprise victories against a team that's off balance.
Exactly. When the offense is uncertain, the whole playbook gets disrupted. And if the defense lacks a true game changer, then you're essentially leaving the door wide open for opponents. It's a high wire act that's tough to balance.
Do you think the front office might be intentionally keeping these options open in hopes of some long-term financial flexibility?
Well, there's that angle. For sure, strategic management of the salary cap can sometimes force teams into these tough conversations. But when your top receiver is in limbo and key defensive positions remain unaddressed, you're risking a lot more than just money. You're risking the team's competitive core.
That's a valid point. It's like they're gambling with their future performance.
Exactly. And while some calculated risk might bring rewards, in this case, the risks seem high. The uncertainty affects not just the tactical plays, but also the overall team confidence. It's a high-stakes balancing act where one misstep could lead to, well, significant ramifications.
And this really puts everything into perspective. It's not just about, say, filling positions, but rather about ensuring that each piece of the puzzle fits perfectly together for maximum output.
Yep, that's it. Essentially, unless the Cowboys can put a definitive stamp on their core elements, be it the offense with Pickens or a game-changing defensive element, they might find themselves chasing an identity that never quite solidifies into something dangerous on the field.
Yeah. Think of it like you're assembling a championship puzzle. Every piece needs to click perfectly, or you're left with a picture that's incomplete and, well, vulnerable.
Exactly. And in this league, vulnerable isn't an option. The competition is fierce, and every team's looking to snap up any advantage over a moment's hesitation. So the stakes here are incredibly high.
No doubt about that. It'll be interesting to see if the Cowboys can sort out this dilemma before it starts biting them on the field.
Absolutely. For now, they have all the right pieces and options, but until they commit and consolidate their strategy, they'll always be sort of in a state of flux. And in the NFL, that kind of flux often comes with a high price.
Indeed. At the end of the day, we'll see how this plays out. The Cowboys are active. They're making moves. But there are still real questions about direction, about identity, and about whether these moves are enough. Make sure you like, subscribe, and stay locked in for more Dallas Cowboys coverage. And shout out to America's Team Network and Clem Dynasty Productions for making this possible. We'll catch you on the next one.
It's go time. It's go time. It's go time. We going up like Coach Prime. Like Coach Prime. Like Coach Prime.